I'm really excited about one of the tools that we've added to the software, and it's called the Steil-Run. And you kind of see it a lot more today with designers, where they'll create a satin stitch and they'll put like a running stitch down the middle to give it a different effect. And so what we've done is we've created that same thing but in one tool in the software, and it allows you to create a steel satin stitch, which is a defined width satin stitch, so it's the same width all the way throughout. And you can either have a running stitch or a motif that goes over the top of it. And so to show you that, I have an object here that's just a curved run stitch. And if with it selected, if I come down to the bottom, we have a new icon for the Steil-Run, and it's located right here in the bottom. And if I select it, it's going to automatically create a steel stitch with a run stitch on top of it. So if I zoom in here, you can see that I have a satin stitch, steel stitch right here in the orange, and then I have a blue running stitch over the top of it. And once I have that selected in the properties box, I can specify if I want the steel first or the run first. By default, the steel comes first with the run after. And if I click on the run tab for the properties, I can change the type of run that is utilized over the top of the steel. So for instance, if I didn't want it to be a run stitch and I wanted it to be a motif, I could select motif, and now I can, with this motif selected, I can hit apply, and you'll notice that it's actually sticking a motif right over the top of that steel stitch. And I can control the steel stitch as well. I can make it a larger pattern if I wanted to and keep the steel the same size, or I could even make it a smaller pattern size and it will make it smaller. And it's a lot of fun because you can do a lot of different things with this. There's another video that shows all the different motif styles that we've added, and you can utilize those motif styles with this tool. And just to show you in the sequence view what it looks like is you have a steel run, and it contains both the steel and the run stitch, and you can work with either one. You can select one and change the color, or you can select the other one and change the color as well. You get a lot of flexibility with it, and the tool is a lot of fun to use. And I just want to show you, if I chose the run first and I hit apply, the run stitch is actually, the motif comes first and then steel second. And how you could utilize something like this is like if you use this pattern right here of the 213 motif and hit apply, I'm going to make it a little bit larger. And what you would have is this running stitch motif underneath of the steel going over the top of it. And you can create your own little custom look. You could do it either way, either the motif on top or the motif below it. And it's just a lot of fun to play around with this tool, and you'll see how you can modify it even more with the motif patterns in the other video that focuses on all the new motif styles that we have. And also wanted to point out that you can utilize this Steil-Run stitch with Appli-Quilt blocks. So if you see, I have an Appli-Quilt block here, and you can see that it is an Appli-Quilt block in the properties box. I can select the different motif binding stitches, and I can convert that right over to a Steil-Run. And from here, I can come in and I can change it to maybe a Appli-Quilt binding motif and choose one of the patterns that comes with that, and I can make it a little bit larger, and you can see that I can utilize that technique inside of Appli-Quilt blocks as well. So it's a lot of fun. We hope that you enjoy playing with this new feature, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. So please make sure that when you utilize this new stitch technique that you post images on our Facebook so that we can see the work that you're creating utilizing the brand new tools of the software.